Your favorite reporter.
That's me. What's happening, Coach? It is good to finally see you post-COVID.
Post-COVID, I hear you. That's why we got the Insights mask on. Instead of Insight Sports, you always got to push the brand. You know, but I can't really talk and do the show on it, so I'm going to take it off.
No, okay. All right.
Okay. And you got Mickey Clayton, the coach. And we're glad to be here inside the bowling alley. And it seems like it's a lot of action going on here. And we're really glad that because of COVID, they were able to get out a little bit and be a part of what's going on.
Indeed, Coach. I want to thank the owners of Penn Chaser for having us here tonight. Got some good food. Got a couple of nice sweet teas. And we're ready to talk some sports.
Yeah. We're always ready to talk some sports.
You hear him back there.
You hear him back there. Bowling. I used to be able to bowl. But I used to be 17, too. You know. They took care of her. That's Bella right there. She was first class, looking out for us, one of Rick's friends, and she looked out for us. It took less than 2 or 3 minutes, it seemed, to bring the food over here. Made me take that mask off right away so I could start eating. Rick. I see you, Rick. I see you. I see you, Rick. Rick, I need to understand something.
Okay, talk to me, Coach.
Your love for Washington is special. Dallas Cowboys fans.
Wait. What's this about Dallas Cowboy fans eating me up? What is going? Tell us what these nuts are saying. Oh. Apologies then. What are these fans saying? How's that, Coach?
Nice show, Vic. Smart move when you went to the Coliseum. And I went out there years ago and saw Peyton Manning's last game when he was with Denver.
Okay.
There was a man there, him and his son, and they had on a Dallas Cowboys jersey. And the Cowboys weren't even playing, but it was a Mexican dude calling him every name under the sun.
Whoa.
He said Dallas and Washington is supposedly the biggest rival.
Okay. That's what they say, suppose.
He said he hates the moniker, American team moniker.
Okay.
All that does is make teams want to kick your ass.
No one likes America's team. I agree.
They get extra fired up.
Mm-hmm.
He told me, but don't act like we've never been to Cleveland with y'all's ass.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Good day, my friend.
Oh, my goodness.
I was like, oh, my goodness.
Hit you close to the heart talking about Cleveland. You see?
That's like me talking about the Cavaliers won a national championship won a championship 3-4 years ago. Doesn't matter now. It doesn't matter now. So I don't quite get it. I really, really don't. But those Dallas Cowboy fans, once they get started, they just off on a whole different tangent.
We'll forgive them for their, everyone makes mistakes. No, not everyone can be perfect. I mean, there's some that says there's more than one fraternity in there, but we all know there's only one. We all know there's only one fraternity around. Let me get my diamond showing. Yeah. So so people mistakes when it comes to the football team too. Oh, there it is. Y'all see that shield. Y'all know what that's. So everyone makes mistakes with the football teams as well. So I'm sorry for all of y'all who cheer for that team, Houston Texans. It's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. We're going to be okay. We still support you, and we're glad you support us, even though we. Mm, 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 mm. So here, coach is having a little bit of trouble, but it's all good because he's going to get it together. He's going to get it straight, and then we're going to be back on. Because I can rant about Dallas all the time, but I'm not. I'm here for you. I'm here for you here at Lovely Pin Chasers. Hey, coach, there you are.
They told me I'd
Welcome back.
disappear, but they could hear me talking. So
Okay.
we had to keep working on it. Every time we do live stream games and all of that, it's always an issue and a problem trying to make sure you get stable internet connection. And what starts off as stable doesn't always end as stable. So another thing that I wanted to bring up was the fact that our coaches have already been identified, Deion Sanders and Coach Simmons, as potential coaches to be going to the next level. Wait a minute. Here it is. I got to do Ellis Woods. I have to do Ellis Woods.
Do we have to?
Yes. Yes. He says the rivalries are amongst the fans more than the players. In today's game with free agency, you never see these guys. They may become teammates in the near future. If you look at the games, you see players helping opponents up off the ground, autographing cleats to each other, swapping jerseys, praying together, or following each other on social media. He said, might as well hold hands and sing Kumbaya. Nowadays, I see more intensity and animosity at a friendly family card game than I do at some of these supposed rivalry games.
And he would know.
He said, I had to take a couple of days to formulate my words. We, Dallas, are America's team because everybody likes Dallas or the haters want to be like Dallas. When Dallas wins, the birds chirp louder, the sun is warmer, and the sky is bluer. When Dallas loses, the weather turns cold and it rains. Every player wants to go to Dallas, and every owner wishes his team was 15-1.
I'm out. I
don't
hear no more.
1-15. The sports come back, Rick. Don't leave. Don't leave. Especially when those wannabes, I think he's talking about you, Rick, question our greatness. How come we're not America's team? Blah, blah, blah. I can't stand Washington's fans, past or present, when it comes to football. Here we go. How dare Rick claim Washington as the team of the 80s? Really? Did you forget the 49ers as much as I hate to say it? You also had the Giants, Raiders, who also won multiple Super Bowls in that decade. So no, Washington doesn't get to be a team of a decade either. Not even close. The most popular and valuable team in all of sports, even without winning a championship since Bill Clinton was in office, is Dallas. The Patriots cheated their way to 6 titles and still are not box office like Dallas. Nice try, Slick Rick. Not slick enough.
Ellis, that was a nice little display there. I'm glad you took a couple of days, but the Raiders won in 79-80. Okay. And then they beat the Skins in 84 here in Tampa. Okay. I'll give you multiple. But if you listen to it all, I did say San Francisco. Okay, so let's not lose it over that. Okay. And I think San Francisco Washington, the Giants, all crushed Dallas during the 80s. So thank you, Danny White. Thank you, Tony Dorsett, and all those other bums who played for Dallas during that time.
Oh, Rick, he kind of got you there. Yeah, Slick Rick, not so slick. Oh my goodness, Rick. Boy, if those Dallas fans didn't come back at you, their comments were the highlight of the week.
Yeah. Don't we have some other stuff to talk about tonight? Because I'm tired of wasting my time talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, who wastes their time with that anyway? I mean, geez.
Oh, they say who wastes their time with that, huh?
I just don't know. Hey, before we get into this HBCU stuff, Coach, let me ask you something.
Sure.
MVP. What does it take to be an MVP?
To be a what?
An MVP.
In what sport are you talking about?
Any sport, but I'm really talking about basketball.
Yeah,
do you have to be the best player on the best team?
It's always an argument if they're talking about the best player on the team or if they're talking about who is the most valuable to their team. There's always argument about that. And and some just say that it's a popularity contest. Mm-hmm. They said if you actually went by who was the most valuable to their team, they say that LeBron was probably hands down the most valuable many years that he didn't get it. So I hope that answers your question a little bit, but it's no one thing. They just, it's kind of hard, and they argue about it.
Okay.
And one of our comments said, and we appreciate the comment, they said, Michael Irvin said it the best. They're the team with stars on the helmet.
Miss Sharon B., I don't know what you're talking about. The team with the stars? Are you talking about those artificial things that you drew? The thing when Terrell Owens, when he was with the San Francisco, with the 49ers, stood on it like this? Let's not talk about team with stars.
Okay, moving to the draft board. One of the things that I use to guide me every year is something in the athletic. And it's Dana Brugler does it. It's 279 pages.
Wow.
And in it, he goes position by position, ranks the players, and gives them overview of them, and then turns around and he has depending on the position, he has some other players that he lists that he didn't actually give you an interview, an overview of them. And one of the more interesting things in it when we actually did it was for the running back positions for HBCU players, there were no HBCU players listed in the top 56. Tight ends, none listed in the top 45. Center, none in the top 17. Edge pass rushers, none in the top 52. Defensive line, none in the top 48. Linebacker, which is a surprise because when they come out, I like the kid from Jackson State that transferred in. Dion got a kid over there that knocked your teeth out. But they had none listed in the top 60. And at safety, they had none listed in the top 34. So that's 90, 180, 235. That's over 300 players right there. Now, on the other side, in the cornerback, there were 3 HBCU players listed. The highest ranked one, Byron Wells at North Carolina Central at number 27. Number 44, Mac McCain III at North Carolina A&T. The 73rd ranked one was Jalen Harris from Prairie View A&M. And one of the things that probably hurts him is a 4.75 speed. That's what he's timed as a cornerback.
As a cornerback?
Cornerback.
No.
On the defensive line, it was interesting that Marvin Wilson from Florida State was ranked number 11 and is projected as a 3rd or 4th round pick. Kind of surprised a little bit because he was locally was so highly thought of, and in the write-up about him, it said that all of the turmoil within the program hurt him in terms of his development.
Wow. Okay.
They also talked about the fact after that he had played for 3 or 4 coaches, which was not considered the turmoil. And I wondered when he kind of took a stand this past season with the team, if it was going to affect him in the draft. Just because they do such a analytical research on everything you've ever done, I wondered if that was going to come back to haunt him at all.
And now, it looks like it did.
Looks like it did. Now, that's the projection. You only need one team to like you, though.
That's all.
Now, offensive guard, we had the highest ranked HBCU player, Mr. Moore from Grambling. They expect him to go in the 4th round, ranked the number 12th offensive guard, 6'1", 330. So Grambling has one. So the way it looks, that he might be the first HBCU player to come off the board. Then ranked at number 37 is Michael Johnson at Savannah State, 6'5", 323. Now, a lot of these guys are going to be like the offensive tackle number 32, Keon Smith from Fayetteville State. They list him as a priority free agent. I mean, as soon as it ends, they're going to be running trying to get him to sign. Close behind him at 36 from FAMU is Calvin Ashley, 6'6", 314. They ranked 88 wide receivers. Number 69 was Tristan Wallace from Prairie View, runs a 4.5 40 at 6'2", 232. He's a man. Sounds like a tight end, but he's listed as a wide receiver. And number 87, Quentin Geis from Grambling, at wide receiver, runs a 4.61. So there's a handful. I'm looking at, 4, 8, maybe 10 that are projected or at least ranked that people are looking at in terms of being drafted.
I mean, and there are a couple of guys that you didn't mention that had a good showing at the HBCU combine.
And there's a couple of guys that you didn't mention that had
Jimmy Robinson.
Ran a 4.38. A 4.28 hand time. But 4.38. Now his size might hold him back, but you can't teach speed. Tyreek Hill for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's not that big, but you get on the ball and he can zip, zip, zip. Tyreek Cohen for the former North Carolina A&T guy now with the Chicago Bears, Cohen. Another zipper. I think he got drafted in the 4th round, though. Why is it that these HBCU athletes, who once they get to the pros, have proven that they can play with the big guys, why do they get drafted so late or not at all? Are you saying the competition is that bad?
Well, one thing I do know, Rick, is that most of the time they do not even look at the game tapes when we play each other. They look at the game tapes that you make your career on when you play those money games.
So what can we do? Well, not us personally, but what can HBCUs do to get more spotlight for their players? Is it by bringing in the Deion Sanders and the Eddie Georges and?
Well, it's not so much that, which that does help in terms of the athletes you recruit, but it's the money games that you don't want your kids to play that much for fear of how they may get hurt or something like that. But when you play Miami, you take the money game against Oklahoma, when you take the money game against North Carolina, if you get beat 73-6, they're measuring you individually, how you handle the competition that you face. And I remember when we had Jerome James 7-1, and they would come and see some of those games that we played in the MEAC. But the games that we played against the real good competition, like Jerome got his draft status at Auburn. And all before the game, Jerome was singing to himself and just as happy as he could be. And I said, Jerome, what is really going on? Why are you so excited? He said, Coach, they got 3 7-footers. They not going to double team or triple team me. They're going to put their big boys on me, and it's going to be man against man. Man, Jerome went for about 28-14. In fact, it was a 4-point game, and he had played every minute. So with about 6 minutes to go, he was dead tired. So I tried to take him out and get him a blow. And less than 2 minutes, that 4-point lead went to 12.
Wow. And
I looked at him, and he said, Coach, I know I got to go. Jerome fouled out all 3 7-footers. He fouled out all 3. Jerome got drafted. None of them got drafted. So I'm just saying that how you do against those money games that we fuss about, it depends on a lot of times what actually happens with the kids that we have and how they handle the competition at a higher level than playing against each other, because they don't really give us a lot of credit. And when I look down this list for all these players, it's going to surprise you. I look down this list, and who's on the list almost everywhere? UCF. UCF. Now that they got players at almost every position is somebody from UCF listed on there.
UCF's program has grown.
Since I've been here in Central Florida, I have seen them go from Division II to a decent, small, a very good small school when it comes to not being in the Power 5 program.
Having said that, though, there's other schools that's more established that should be getting the same props.
Well, it depends on the athletes you have. I mean, when I'm just going through the list and looking at players, they had an edge rusher named Donnie Putatu. And yeah, I mean, I'm trying to even figure out where he was in school at. Then we had another kid from ASA College named Brandon DeVaro. I mean, they really looked at some of these schools, and they say they find you if you can play.
Yeah.
Well, they had to find them somewhere. Now, I had another question. I was just curious about some of the high schools, since we have such an influence of high school. Some of the high schools and the states that some of these skill positions come from. Okay, give me a guess who you think's number one with the most quarterbacks that are listed on here. What's
Texas?
Texas? Bing, 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 bing. Give Rick Brown a star. It's Texas.
Not a star.
All right. What state you think is second?
Quarterback second.
That produce.
I'm gonna go with your state, Ohio.
Wrong. Ohio has 1. Georgia has 4.
Ooh. Georgia.
California has 3.
Yeah, I forgot about
now, Georgia has Justin Fields and who's your number 1 pick? Lawrence. I mean, both of those are from near Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Who you think has the most running backs that are listed? What state you think produced the most?
I'm trying to think of where Florida would jump in. I don't think running backs. So maybe Texas again.
Florida with 5. 5 of the top running backs are from high schools in Florida.
Wow.
And it's a tie with the state that has the second most between Georgia and Louisiana.
Interesting.
That kind of a surprise there, right?
Yeah. Louisiana. So they don't just eat all the great food that's in the bayou.
Yeah, they probably do, but they run it off.
Nah, yeah.
Now, if you go to wide receivers, what high schools?
High schools, states, wide receivers.
No, not Cali.
It's gonna take you way too long. You got 9 out of Florida, which is not a real big surprise to me. 9. Second, Louisiana again with 7.
Jesus.
Texas 6, Georgia tied, and California with 5.
You know, Florida has good stock with wide receivers and defensive backs. They just grow them down here. Speedy, one side can catch, the other side likes to hit more than hit. It's a good thing.
Yeah, Florida has done well with their skill athletes, 9 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, Florida and Georgia. I mean, the high schools, all of these kids that are playing and getting drafted aren't necessarily from the school they're playing from. You know, they're from a high school and they recruited them, and that's why everybody tries to get to Florida to recruit.
You spoke about Florida players, and the University of Florida has a tight end, Cal Pitts, who runs like a wide receiver, who's big like a big wide receiver. Probably played basketball in high school. But he's the real deal. This kid can catch, he can run.
I think this guy can be, if he stays healthy,
this guy can
be in the league for 10 years.
All right, no argument on that. Don't take no genius to figure that out, Rick. Tell me about Justin Fields and why he's dropping. You know that? Did you hear that last week the young man came out and said that he had epilepsy?
No, I did not hear that. But okay, that's one reason.
Yeah, but I'm sure everybody didn't know that when he said that. And he has just dropped. And in certain schools, certain teams, if he drops to them, he's going to be an issue and a problem for a whole lot of people, just like Lamar Jackson.
But, you know, Coach, a lot of people are scared of Ohio State quarterback. I mean, look at Haskins. And Now he's on a second chance with Pittsburgh as a backup, a former first-round pick.
I wasn't a fan of his.
I think people hold that against teams. When Steve Spurrier was at Florida, as good as that offense was in college, not too many of his quarterbacks had major success, if any.
Still, that doesn't mean jack to me, because Justin Fields is an athlete and can do a lot of things that the average quarterback can't.
Are you gonna move him to wide receiver?
No,
Defensive back?
That's what they try to do with our quarterbacks, but he's so athletic and can throw it. And now they're trying to say it takes him too long to process. Okay. They try to find flaws with our kids. And I think, and I'm fine with it, because wherever he goes in the draft, he's going to rise to the top. They thought that about Lamar. Lamar went 12th, didn't he? The 11 teams that right now, if they had to do it again, Lamar would never make it that far.
Yeah, but they also talk about Lamar's passing.
I don't care about them talking about his passing. Look at what he's doing with the team. They're trying to find something. They built their offense around him.
They did. The Ravens are happy.
Yeah.
Is everybody else and the guys in the media? Because it's always the media's fault.
I don't give a damn about that. All that people got an issue with Lamar drills them. Well, he had to take a bathroom breaker and come back and beat Cleveland. I mean, because we were going to roll him. He had to go to the bathroom, came back from the bathroom, and that was the end of the game. He came in and was Superman. I'm sitting there sick. I ain't no fan of his, but I respect him. And he turns that, he couldn't run, and he can't run in the NFL like that. He's going to get hurt. Okay. All right. Keep believing and counting on that. With his mom as his manager. They didn't like that either, but he bucked the whole system on all of that.
Hey, keep that money home.
I know that's right. Well, this is Mickey Clayton, the coach.
And me, your favorite reporter's report.
I like to hear him say that. Our first attempt at doing the live. We appreciate y'all. We'll do it again. Probably won't be in the bowling alley, even though it was fun, because as soon as we sign off, I'm going to turn around and eat the rest of these wings and tenders. I'm going to eat my tenders and Rick's wings. So you see him eating those French fries.
Thanks for joining us, y'all.
Anything special you want to say back to the owner here?
Thank you for having us. Please invite us again.
Pin crushers.
No, chasers.
See, you better get me straight. I was trying to give you an opportunity to close it out. You ain't give them the name. And a special shout out to our hostess.
Hey, we got people coming in. Don't
here. What's happening
here?
He must really be close to you because he's like you and can't tell time.
Oh my goodness! It is right. It's about time. Okay, that's fine. Look, this is Rick Brown, the reporter's favorite reporter. That's Coach Clayton over here. We're out of here on the diamond. Yo,
we appreciate y'all as always. We see you next week, and I guarantee you somebody gonna talk some shit to Rick again. That's just what they do. Yeah, because last time, when they got on you from last week, boy, that thing was kind of rough, Rick. I'm kind of glad they was on you and not me. See,
they can come all they want. They know how to find me on Twitter at Rick Brown 91 or Free Agent Rick, whatever's easier for you. Comment here, YouTube, anywhere. I'm here for you. I'm here against you. I'm here.
And on that, we gonna sign OFF. Peace.
Peace.